Often referred to by the locals as the Paradise by the Sea, this custom designed structure was a 5-story gem built by a local famous Italian architect. An elevated plot of land that overlooked the promenade of an Italian city shoreline was specifically chosen to be the location of this new gorgeous municipal palace. When we arrived at the location, we quickly realized that we did not plan it out very well. The entire palace was surrounded by a massive wall and fence, so there was no way that we were just going to walk up to it. By us getting to the palace in the middle of the day, we were all completely baffled by just how crazy busy this area really was. Although it should have been to no surprise, as the palace does sit directly across from a popular public beach, but the place was literally crawling with people everywhere. Additionally, there was a lifeguard who worked at the beach that had a direct line of sight to where we had to climb up the wall and enter the palace grounds. Being mindful of this, we sat back, watched, and waited. But nothing happened. More and more people just continued to come, and the lifeguard wasn't going anywhere. So we all decided to just go for it. And as soon as we were high up on that wall, we all heard a woman yelling at us in an Italian language that none of us could comprehend, but yet all of us could understand that she was not happy and was possibly going to call the police. Rather than head back down and risk being seen again, we all decided to sit outside and wait. This way, if the police did happen to show up, we were not inside the building and they would probably just ask us to leave. After waiting outside the palace for over an hour, we figured that it was finally safe to make our move and we made our way inside. And the abandoned luxurious palace sure didn't disappoint, making every single second worth the wait. And it dates back to the 1920s. Great architecture. It was built and designed by a local Italian architect. Just beautiful. This is the ballroom. These chandeliers. Great plaster work. And I don't know if you can really see that. One hell of a view of the ocean. Construction on the palace was finished in 1924, and it instantly became the talk of the town, especially as its semicircular base with giant skylight windows, its numerous wrought iron banisters, its 2 twin spike copulas, and its noticeable high number of marble statues standing guard truly set it apart from anything else like it. This place is architecturally amazing. Look at that ironwork right there on those balconies. And just the ceiling and even the chandeliers. For most of its time, the palace was the pride and joy of the Roman city as people came from all over the country to gawk at its absolute splendor. The palace was so popular in its heyday that it was featured in more than 50 different Italian films, always looking grandiose and living up to its name as a real-life paradise. The palace was originally designed to house a casino, however, that never came to fruition. Rather, it became famous for hosting large gatherings, parties, shows, venues, and other prominent events. The palace was even used for a time during World War II when it served as the headquarters for the Allied Armed Forces. During the 1960s, it then became a vocational college for the hotel and catering industry. Classes continued to operate for many years until the declining number of students reached a point to where the school could no longer afford to keep the doors open. The school officially closed in 2015, and the magnificent Paradise by the Sea has been abandoned ever since, surprisingly decaying and rotting away on an exquisite Italian shoreline. You can see Fran up there walking around.
Look at this view. I gotta be careful and quick out here. There's a lot of neighbors out on their balconies. From what I heard, they call the police if they see anyone up here or entering the property. So I just wanted to show you guys what it looked like, but I'm gonna get out of here.
This was the auditorium style classroom. You can see all the desks here and all sorts of paperwork around, books, even some slides. These slides show it's like some dude's carrying a body or something. This is pretty much one of the cooler rooms here, especially with that amazing detail, and then the hand-painted ceiling right there. That's amazing.
I think all of this is from the students that used to go here. I know when I was in middle school, we would write all over the desks. I actually carved my name on the desk. I wonder if that's still there now, 15 years later. Like all of this. So as you can see, there's a lot of vandalism in this building. Most of the windows are broken. There's a decent amount of graffiti. So kids have been in here really just destroying this place. This place has been taken over by pigeons. As you can see, there's pigeon poop all over the place. When we walked up, there was about 15 in here and they went nuts. And then most of them flew out of the window. You can see there's just graffiti everywhere. This place is getting trashed really bad.
This was the main entrance. You can see that colorful glass there. Some statues guarding that main entrance here. So this is one of the restaurants where they would learn culinary and practice, and I believe it was an actual restaurant where they could serve people and learn all that. This place taught a lot of European students from all over Europe, not just Italy.
Most of the chandeliers are still intact. So I believe this is the schedules, class schedules, and curriculums that they offered here. I can't read any of this because it's in Italian, but from the Broken Window Theories video, that's what they said this was. It says 2006. I believe this place closed in 2015. So it's been abandoned for a good 7 years now. Looks like it's been vacant for longer than that, though. I actually thought that places in the United States get vandalized bad. But it's nothing like Italy because from the research I done, trespassing isn't illegal here. That's why there's graffiti in every single building. That's why all the windows are always broken. I don't believe these kids really get in trouble if they get caught in here. Where in the United States, trespassing is 100% illegal. So it's not really worth going in and trashing these buildings if you get arrested for it. You could see at one point, they tried really hard to keep people out of this building. And eventually it just got too damaged. They must have given up, constantly replacing boards over the broken windows.
This is another restaurant down on the first floor by the ballroom where the students would serve people and get knowledge of how to do fine dining and cooking and serving and busing. No, just kidding. This restaurant down here is a little bit better than the one up there. It's got a lot more detail and it's got a better fresco up on the ceiling right there. Exploring the palace was just as amazing and impressive as we had imagined. The interior was loaded with significant architectural detailing, such as hand-painted frescoes, glass chandeliers, gold and sea-themed plasterwork, and most notably was the circular domed room with high-rising windows and hand-painted ceiling on the very top floor. The Municipal Palace, also known as the Paradise by the Sea, will always be one of our very favorite places that we had the opportunity to visit during our Italian road trip. Unfortunately, that'll take us to the end of today's video. We truly appreciate you all for checking it out. For more photos from this place, as well as other locations, check out abandonedcentral.com. And don't forget, subscribe to Abandoned Central on YouTube so that you don't miss any of our latest videos. Thank you so much.